What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. But before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, I do apologize, it's still raining. It's been raining all week, so you may hear it in the background, you may not. On the last video, I don't think you could hear it, but in this video, we're going to go over the January 2023 Jordan and Nike releases. Now, before I get ahead of myself, the Nike releases won't be all of them. It'll be a handful of releases that are 100% confirmed. I'm not going to go any rumored release dates for now. And then from Jordan brand, I'm going to talk about all the shoes. All of these dates will be 100% accurate. Since I cover Nikes a lot, I figured I might as well try to add them into these videos, see how you guys like them. And there isn't a whole lot from Nike, but I guess I just wanted to test this out. Now, like always, release dates get changed often. So in the case that it does, or another shoe pops up for the month of January, there will be a link in the description below which will take you to our Air Jordan release dates page as well as the Nike release dates page. Those pages have a ton of releases for 2023, not just January. And also, I will be covering any release date changes in upcoming videos from Nike and Jordan brand. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's get into it. We're going to start this video off with Nike. Probably won't take too long. And the first pair is the Nike Dunk Low Reverse Brazil. They're also being called Oregon. Now, I did see this pair on the Foot Locker's release calendar. However, they have been removed. So again, it's a possibility that the release date has been delayed. And for this shoe, January 2nd is the expected release date, and the retail price is $110. Also dropping on the same day is the Nike Dunk High Psychic Purple. This pair will be available in men's sizing. One of the shops you'll be able to purchase from is Finish Line, and the release date is January 2nd. The retail price is $125. Initially scheduled to release in December, the Nike Dunk Low Marstone actually dropped at several different retailers. However, if you missed out on that, then the new release date is January 4th. The retail price will be $120. These will be available on the Nike app, not the Sneakers app. Another pair that released at select retailers already, the Nike Air Zoom Flight True Red, aka White Red, aka Brent Berry, will be available on the Nike app on January 4th. As most of you know, there's a second colorway of the Nike LeBron 7 Florida A&M. Now, I'm going to talk about that second colorway in an upcoming video, but the first colorway, we actually have a release date. So this pair will be available on the Sneakers app, and they'll drop on January 7th. The retail price will be $200. If you missed out on the Nike Dunk High Panda releases, once again, you'll have another chance to purchase. So I don't know how many times this shoe has restocked. It's been quite a bit. Not as much as the low counterpart, I believe. And the low is just more sought after. But if you missed out, both the women's and the men's version of the Nike Dunk High Panda will release again on January 19th via the Nike app. Retail price will be $125 each. As some of you may know, there's a little bit of differences between the men's and the women's pair other than the sizing, and that is the tongue label on the women's pair. So on the men's pair, the tongue branding is in black, but on the women's, it's in orange. As many times as this shoe has released, I have to give it the overrated shoe of 2021 and 2022. Yeah, it's clean, it's simple, but the hype for these, and along with what people are trying to resell them for, is just insane. But for those that don't know, this is the Nike Dunk Low Panda, and once again, you'll be able to purchase on the Nike app on January 19th. The retail price will be $110. Moving on to Jordan brand, and there's two shoes that I need to talk about right away before we get into the release dates. And the first one is the Air Jordan 5 Aqua. Now, January 21st to be exact. However, this pair was moved back recently and will now debut on April 8th. So we got a bit of time for this pair comes out. Now, the second is the Air Jordan 5 GORE-TEX. This is a women's exclusive release, and at the time of recording, we don't have a release date. However, why I'm including it in this video is for the simple fact that there's a possibility that the shoes could debut in January. They've had several release date changes. I also believe that some retailers overseas have already dropped them. So when we get an actual release date, if it's in January or later on. I'll make sure to update the release date pages on Sneaker Files and, of course, put that in the following news video. On January 1st, Jordan Brand will release the Air Jordan 1 metal baseball cleats and the MCS baseball cleats. So far, there's a total of 3 colorways that will be available. One in black and white, that will come in mid-top form. There's another pair in blue and white, that will also be a mid. And also releasing is a low-top version, which comes dressed in red and white. So there is a possibility that more colorways will be available. These 3 are currently scheduled to release on January 1st via Dick's Sporting Goods website. And the retail price for the mid is $150, while the low will cost you $140. Also releasing January 1st is the Jordan LUKA 1 BRED. Now, these actually dropped at a few retailers already, and there's 2 release dates. So Finish Line has this shoe listed to debut on January 1st, but sites like Foot Locker and Champs has this pair scheduled to debut on January 8th. So pretty much you can pick where. The pair also features a black, university red, and dark gray colorway. This shoe will be available in full family sizing. The men's pair will cost $110, grade school will cost you $80, preschool will cost $70, and toddler will retail at $50. Now these next 2 shoes I'm going to touch on briefly just because we don't have a stateside release date just yet. But the Nike Airship Pine Green and the University Gold were initially scheduled to debut on January 4th. However, I've also seen reports that they could drop on January 27th, which would be much later in the month. The retail price will be $150 each, and more updates on these 2 coming soon. Inspired by the OG Air Jordan 7 Bordeaux, the Air Jordan 37 Bordeaux will release this month. The pair features a black, Bordeaux, Midnight Fog, Midas Gold, dark teal, and light granite colorway. This pair will only release in men's sizing. So far I've seen it on the Finish Line release calendar, and they're expected to debut on January 5th. The retail price will be $185. The Air Jordan 9 Olive Concord might be delayed in the States. Now, the release date is January 7th. Currently overseas, the pair is still scheduled to release on that day. However, after going over several release date calendars from different retailers, I've noticed that the shoes are not on any of them. They're not on Sneakers, Foot Locker, Finish Line, nothing. There is time for them to pop up, but I just want to make note that it's a possibility they could get delayed. The retail price is $200. They'll also be available in full family sizing. Men's will cost $200, grade school will cost $150, preschool will cost $85, and toddler will retail at $75. Aside from the Olive Concord Air Jordan 9, there's several other pairs that are going to release on January 7th. One of those is the Air Jordan 7 Olive, also known as Black Olive. The shoes feature a black, cherry wood red, neutral olive, and chutney colorway. And this isn't a GR. They're only available in men's sizing, but sites like the Sneakers app, Finish Line, they'll have them. So if I forgot to mention, January 7th is the release date. The retail price is $200. Dropping exclusively in grade school sizing and below, we have the Air Jordan 4 Messy Room. I believe Sneakers is also calling them French Blue. So the release date is January 7th. This is a GR. You'll be able to purchase them quite easily, and there's a possibility if you wait, they'll go on sale. The retail price for grade school sizing is $150, preschool will cost you $85, and toddler sizing will cost you $65. The first Air Jordan 37 low to release is known as Siren Red, and that is due to the colorway, which is white, black, and Siren Red. The release date is January 9th, and the retail price will be $175. Also, the shoe will release in men's and grade school sizing. Also releasing this month is the Air Jordan 5 Dunk on Mars, also known as Mars for Her. Quite a few retailers will have this shoe, and aside from the larger sizes, I think this should be a pretty easy colorway to purchase, although it does look and resemble that of the Raging Bull 5s, which could cause a little bit of trouble on purchasing. So like I mentioned, this is a women's exclusive release, and they won't be available in extended women's sizing, and currently they are scheduled to debut on January 14th. The retail price will be $200. In my opinion, this month is pretty underwhelming when it comes to Jordan releases, and even from Nike, but one of the standout drops from Jordan Brand is the Air Jordan 1 High OG True Blue, another pair that helps celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 3. This pair is currently scheduled to release on January 14th, the same day as the Dunk on Mars. Now with this pair, they'll be available in full family sizing. Men's will cost you $180, grade school will cost you $140, preschool will cost you $85, and toddler sizing will cost you $70. I do like this shoe. However, I'm not dying to get them. And from what I've seen, there's not a lot of hype. So if you really like them, there's a strong chance that they'll go on sale. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wait to buy them and see if I can get them on a discount. The first pair from the Craft series will release in January, known as the Air Jordan 2 Craft, and comes dressed in Cell, Desert, Sunset Haze, and Light Steel Gray. This is a women's exclusive release. I haven't seen a ton of talk about them, but they'll release on January 26th, and the retail price will be $185. The last two releases for the month of January is the Union LA Air Jordan 1 KO Low collaboration. So this shoe will release in two colorways. We only have images of one so far, which is the white, Cell, University Gold, and Neutral Gray pair. The second pair will feature a Cell, Muslin, and Neutral Gray colorway. Now there was some new images since I talked about this shoe in the previous news video, and I'm still going to talk about them in the upcoming news video, but to briefly go over the pair, they feature a canvas upper, and what I was unsure about on the shoe is the removable swoosh logos. It almost looks stitched on, but thanks to these new photos, you can see that it is Velcro. You can just rip them right off, and they actually come with spare swooshes. So other than that, the colorway is pretty simple. We have gold accents throughout, gray hits the swoosh, white covers the upper, we have a Cell midsole, and a gray rubber outsole. Each pair will also come with special packaging, and we do have the release date and the retail price, which is January 27th. The retail price will be $150. But what we don't know is the size range the two will be available. If the second colorway will be a Union exclusive, that isn't known just yet, but all of that will be covered in an upcoming news video. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you got a second, make sure to hit this video with a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Now, if any release dates change or added in, there will be two links in the description below, which will take you to our Air Jordan release dates page, as well as our Nike release dates page, and it'll be updated there. Now, let me know if you like me adding in Nike into these videos. Going forward, I might try to include some rumored releases, but nothing crazy like you see on Instagram and various Twitter accounts. They have to have somewhat of some backing, or at least a source that was told to me that I can confirm with and I trust. I'm just trying to see what works and what doesn't, what you guys like or dislike, while keeping the content the same but just adding more to it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you like or dislike, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. If I get nothing in the month of January, I'm 100% okay with that. There's nothing to me that screams I must have them, nothing at all. Now, what I think is decent and I would buy on sale would be the True Blue Air Jordan 1 High OG, and I think that's it from Jordan Brand. Now from Nike, I gotta give them a slight edge, just because there's two shoes that I really want, but again, I will only buy them when they go on sale. Those two shoes will be the Nike Air Zoom Flight 95 True Red, aka Brent Berry, and the Nike LeBron 7 Florida A&M. Now, I don't know if that shoe will go on sale. More than likely the Brent Berry pair will. The Florida A&M probably will go below retail in several months on various reseller sites. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Also, I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Make sure to stay safe. I'll also have a new video out for you guys in the next several days. I know you've probably seen the news going around, and there definitely needs to be some clarification. I'm seeing a lot of wrong information on the stuff that's going out, so I'll make sure to clear that up. And again, happy new year. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.